Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, coinaholics of all ages. This is Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound, and today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the top 10 coins to sell for the most amount of money on eBay. And this is the Blue Ridge High Rollers January 2021 episode. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff. Only because compared to the first 2 months that I initiated this high rollers video, which I do like at the beginning of the month, first week into the next month, we have seen a little bit of a switch between December and January. You're going to see that apparently clear on some of the top coins and coin related items that have sold. And while I'm going to say that we didn't have anything quite nearly as expensive compared to November and December, like $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 coins. We still have quite a few that have sold for pretty close to that. But I do this every single month now to help gauge just the overall market of the coin, collecting numismatics in general. You could probably say that currency, moves pretty closely to the market of coins, even though it's paper. Some people have their apprehensions about collecting paper because it's fiat currency and blah, blah, blah. You could go on and on and on and on. But coins is definitely kind of like the glue that holds the entire coin collecting numismatics hobby together. And, it's pretty crazy to think that the market for collectibles of any capacity is as white hot as it is right now. The real question at the end of the day is, where is all this money coming from? A lot of it is coming from investor money. Old money, crypto money is coming in a huge way. I can't really say that, things like the like COVID relief money that comes in from the government plays a huge part. It plays a little part. It gets some of the smaller people into the hobby and into investing. But what it really boils down to is people are converting investment money, and there is a ton of it, along with e-commerce money, into tangible assets. And they're building their portfolio as a result with these items. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. I want to thank you guys for your support of Blue Ridge Silverhound. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell, again, for notifications if you haven't done so already, so that way you can receive video notifications such as the high rollers. All right, so the first coin to sell, we're going to start at the bottom, of course, at the number 10 slot. And this one right here, we have a batch of bullion. Okay, in this particular case, we have 11 1-ounce gold eagles. As a matter of fact, these all carry a face value of $50 a piece. Theoretically, you could spend these, at your local Walmart or, at RC Willey or Best Buy or whatever. But why would you want to? It is legal tender, but really the main draw of this is the bullion. All right, these are all Trip 9 fine. And these are all ungraded. They're raw. The date range goes from 1986 to 2002. I believe they're all consecutive. And this right here, there's really not a whole heck of else to talk about when it comes to bullion. They're all BU. So that's also another thing to point out. And these, I believe, were in a little album as well. Here's the original listing here. Buyer beware, however. This seller right here, Larch Law Archer 72. I don't know. His feedback's not too hot. Now 90.5 seems like it's still okay, but sounds like based off of the number of overall feedback, this person probably got two negatives. I tried to research it, but he said his feedback on private. So, that's a pretty big red flag when it comes to, purchasing on eBay and finding a reputable person to buy from. But as you can see, this one sold for $20,719. It's in the 45 bids. accumulated to this amount of money. But anyways, that's the first one. So we got bullion on tap for the high rollers, okay? And this won't be the last one, believe it or not. All right, the number 9 coin from eBay is going to be this beauty right here. For those of you that collect type pieces or are looking for that kind of like that big, higher echelon investment coin, this is a good one right here. This is a 1794. It's got the head of 94, which is the more updated design for the Liberty Cap series. This large cent right here is also graded PCGS Mint State 63 brown, as you can see there on the label. But overall, just an overall pleasing coin. Not a lot of these exist out there at this particular grade state. This one, pure straight up, is just a beautiful coin. This is probably one of those coins that one day I'll own. Probably when I'm, long in my 60s, 70s, which is just around the corner. I'm still, kind of like spring chicken-ish age. But as quickly as time flies, especially when you're working and you got family. Anyways, I'm getting off on a huge tangent. But this one right here, just an overall stunning beauty of a coin, and this one sold for $24,000 from a reputable dealer, Frisco Mint 1793. We've seen a few of his listings in the near past, I guess. Just an overall beautiful coin. All right, so this is your number 9 on the list. All right, number 8 in a coin that probably is one that, if you haven't done so already, you should go out there and cherry pick the number 8 coin. And that's going to be the 1887 Morgan dollar. But, just look at the coin. It's a PCGS Mint State 65. If the conversation ended there at that grade, you'd be talking about a coin that is worth $150 to $200. However, this is a Hot 50 VAM, or a Morgan variety. All right, people do collect them by specific varieties. Maybe a little doubling. There's a Gator Eye. There's the Thornhead, and there's a bunch of different types of varieties, and people pay a ton of money for specific varieties, especially if they're a top 100 or a Hot 50 or one of those particular list of coins. They are very desirable, and especially in the highest grades. Now, this one right here is a VAM 1B. Okay, it's got the partial E on the reverse in states. We'll see that here momentarily. This example is a PCGS Mint State 65. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a coin that you can cherry pick. You do some research, and as a matter of fact, if you want to know more about VAMs, there's a really cool website called VAMworld.com. All right, that's one of those websites, kind of like my Power 25 in the Blue Ridge collection of websites that I bookmark. All right, because I always refer to it if I want to know more about certain dates and certain VAMs, and like the top list. Anything from the top 100 or Hot 50 are all very desirable. All right, so this one right here, that partial E, you could see just kind of like a greasy filled die or something right there. So you have a partial E here in states. That's the main diagnostic for the VAM 1B. Again, it's a Hot 50. It sold for $25,000 freaking dollars, which is a lot of money. But someone found the value in this particular VAM. It was sold by Jewel Street, all right, who is in SoCal. Actually, the last one before this was in Southern California too. But this is just like a huge surprise, and I'm glad something like this is on here because it shows the power of the possibilities in the hobby. Okay, you could go out, spend $100 on a raw coin like this, turn around, send it to PCGS or NGC after you've cherry-picked the bejesus out of it for that rare VAM, and then turn around and make 5 figures. All right, but let's say it doesn't grade out Mint State 65. Maybe it's a 63 or 64. I mean, you're still talking a $10,000 plus coin because of what it is. 1887 is one of those very, very readily available dates in mint state condition. So you also want to know that. there are some more of these out there. You just have to use your good old eagle eye. But 25 grand, man, pretty nice. All right, so our number 7 coin is another Morgan dollar. Okay, we have an 1878. This is the 8-tail feather reverse. This is another top 100 VAM, ladies and gentlemen. Are you seeing a trend? It's a PCGS Mint State 64. They call this one the VAM 14.11 Wild Eye. All right, not sure what the Wild Eye looks like, but you could go on VAM World and actually check this one out. Top 100. Okay, it's also CAC certified. I mean, it's a really nice looking coin. It is a little bit older generation holder, as you can see. Overall, just a really pleasing coin. This one right here also brought home $25,000, and this one was actually sold by Stanley Carps in New Jersey. So just a really another great example here. By the time you figure out, top 100. Nice grade and CAC certified, you put all those together and you have another wildly valuable coin. I can imagine that this one is probably like an R7 or R8 for it to be worth this kind of money, which means there's only maybe 10, 20 extent of this particular VAM. But that's okay. It's, again, another coin that you could go out there and cherry pick. 1878 is the first year of the Morgan. It's not particularly rare in mint state condition raw, which presents an opportunity for would-be cherry pickers, although it's going to set you back a little bit more money than the 1887 that we looked at previously. So keep that in mind as you go out to look for this coin. But this one right here sold January 21st. Yeah, these all sold in January. First 3 coins, of course, all in January as well. All right, so the number 6 coin on the list is going to be this beauty right here. This is a really nice key date, 1904S. Sorry about the flash right there, but that's the seller provided images for this coin. This is a Barber $half. Okay, it's PCGS Mint State 64. Got a little bit of original toning on there. All right, which is really nice. It's just an overall pleasing candidate. Not a lot of these were made. And then if you're going to think about just a overall kind of like net number of coins that grade out mint state, all right, it's a very small number because these coins were very well circulated. A 1904S, if you need to get one for like, a Barber $half collection or a typeset, you didn't want to spend that, like huge amount of money. I mean, you're going to easily spend a couple $100, $300-400 to obtain like a good, for example, of this coin. I mean, the reverse is just stunning too. I mean, it's beautiful. And it's a little bit older generation PCGS holder as well. All right, so this one right here sold January 25th. Sold for $25,999. This is coin 1 of 2 from Century Cole Collection. I would imagine that's what the abbreviation is. He's in New York. But yeah, just an overall beautiful coin. See the mintage, 553,000. It is one of the undisputed keys in the Barber series. Okay, not just $half, but quarters, dimes, you name it. Pretty nice coin right there. All right, so for our number 5 coin on the list, we have this is one of my favorites. This is the 1916 Buffalo Nickel. This is the doubled die obverse. This is a coin that I had talked about in a previous video where you could cherry pick it in extremely low grades. Okay, so if it does not have a visible date, there are other diagnostics to the coin that you could look for to match up to the doubled die obverse. This one right here, this is a true collectors / investors grade here. It's a PCGS AU50. We have seen these coins just like all of a sudden just explode in value over the past 12 to 18 months. And I think another AU type grade coin had sold for about 30-40% less than what this one did. This is also FS 101, in case you're wondering. Here's a couple close-ups of the obverse and the reverse of the coin. I mean, take a look at the date. Wow. I mean, that's no doubt about it. That is the one. But let's say if you were searching like, dateless buffaloes, you're trying to look for this coin. Okay, the good news is it's a Philadelphia. there are quite a few of them still around. Do you see the doubling here on the 3 feathers? Okay, those are the main diagnostics you're going to look for, to a lesser extent here on the chin and nose. But those are, a few key spots you're going to look for. Even the doubled ribbon is noticeable on lower grades as well. Those coins sell for about $750 to $1,000. You find one, it's in poor shape, send it out to PCGS, they'll attribute it. And it's a very attributable date because of what it is. But anyways, this puppy right here sold for $27,995. I believe a best offer was accepted on this coin, as with the Barber that we saw previous. This one by also Century Collection in New York. Another beauty from that seller. Yeah, he has a lot of high-end coins too. If you're interested in looking for a top-notch investment piece, I would certainly consider Century Cole on your list. So yeah, a little bit of a plug for these sellers as well, except for maybe the number 10 seller on the list. Yeah. Anyways, number 4 coin up on the list is going to be this. Yeah, an APMEX bag of 90% silver. How much you asking? $1,000 face. And this is going to be kind of like that weird transition from December to January. As you guys know, there was a lot of market manipulation, out there, regarding like GameStop stock, and, all of a sudden, as a result, other stocks have kind of moved because of, shorts and, Reddit and all that great stuff. Yeah, a lot of people made a lot of money, and then there were a lot of people that probably lost some money as well. By the time the news had hit, those stocks were at just ridiculous highs at that point. So what were people doing? They were also looking at alternative investments. One of those is silver and gold. All right, so those two kind of like staples in precious metals investing exploded about a week, 10 days ago, when everything was going on with GameStop. So as a result, some of these big companies like APMEX and Silver Coin Mart or Modern Coin Mart and a few others, they were running low on actual physical silver supply. All right, so I'm one of those people that received an email from APMEX letting people know that there is a huge shortage of all different types of silver, from regular generic silver bullion, rounds and bars, to some of the more collectible ones like Silver Eagles and Maple Leafs. And 90% silver is not immune to that as well. All right, so this is kind of like a generic stock photo that they use on their eBay listing, but it's $1,000 face. At the time of this, at this sale, which by the way was on January 31st, okay, which falls right in line with all the crazy investment dealings going on. This one was $30,641.76. I would venture a guess, because they had, 6 lots available. Maybe they're all sold out at this point. That's just speculative at this point, based off of just the crazy swings in the market that was going on. But this one right here, yeah, pretty huge sale for 90%, which is a pretty good premium above what you could normally pay for something like this. No doubt about it. All right, so that is the what is that? The number 4. Okay, we got the number 3 coin here. Now this is a stunner. All right, there aren't too many proof large cents that you could just up and find. A lot of them, I would guess, are either in collections, haven't been graded, or they are graded. All right, this is going to be a tough one to actually cherry pick anywhere. They're usually accompanied by really strong strikes. All right, so they're not going to be like your typical run-of-the-mill large cent. This one right here is an 1822, what is this, coronet head. All right, is what they call it. It's a Newcomb 6, which for this particular coin type, this proof, is an R8+, which means there's only like maybe 2 or 3 examples in existence of this particular variety or dye pairing type. It's also part of the Nafsker Twin Leaf Provenance collection. I mean, just look at the back of the coin. Yeah, a few of the spots, those are common on these. It's just, normal carbon spots on there. But just an overall pretty coin, PCGS Proof 63. This one sold for $34,000. Ooh, yeah, these coins again. If you're fortunate enough to find any proof from either a coronet or a braided hair, large cent or even maybe a half cent, those are very collectible, and there aren't too many of them out there. Once you get into the braided hair, they're a little bit more affordable, like $5,000 to $10,000, but still, that's still a lot of money. And they are all straight up investment coins. This one was sold by Hannigan's Rare Coins on the 21st. All right, so it's you've got all the attribution, little slips and stuff. That's part of the listing. Beautiful coin, by the way. Number 2 coin, we're almost there. This is the top 2. Number 2, we have a very pixelated set of Saint-Gaudens $20 graded coins. Every single one that you're going to receive, and by the way, every lot is 10 coins. So this is a 10 coin lot of $20 Saint-Gaudens golds. These are all PCGS Mid-State 65. That's what you're receiving. This is actually a cropped down version of the whole picture because there is only one image on there. And you're going to see I even put a black box over this because there is a, relatively attractive young lady under that black box. And to protect, identities and whatnot, we have put the block there. But, you can always go to the listing and actually see it. But anyways, this was sold by Coins Since 1994. Okay, they're located in Washington State. This one sold for a buy it now. Actually, $39,000 was the original ask. So it sold for a little bit less than that, probably $35,000, $36,000. This was sold on the 25th. And he has one more lot available. All right, as you can see. All right, and I believe that's still there because I didn't see another listing for February, which we will talk about in March. All right, so the number 1 coin, ladies and gentlemen, on eBay that sold for a ton of money isn't one coin at all. It's actually a bag of Morgan dollars. There's a $1,000 face in this bag. Not really sure if it's the original bag. Usually those bags are pretty stretched out and ripped apart or, pretty well tattered. This one looks like it's held together well. $1,000 face. I mean, the bag says Merchants National Bank, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. But anyways, obviously the bags were filled and then sealed, because there are a few other, accompanying photos of loose coins just mixed together right here. But this is what you're receiving. You're receiving, kind of like a mix of, BU, Mint State. There was a lot of like lower grade VFXFs, a few culls in there in the mix. So it's really hard to say. This is more or less you're buying for the silver because again, silver has just been shooting up. And then second, people love cherry picking through these lots because obviously, normally under normal circumstances, the sellers don't really go through them and cherry pick, like we had talked about VAMs. There was 2 very big VAMs that sold on the list. I mean, you could search for one of those in here as well. But it also does look like there's a few piece dollars in there. So it's not all Morgans. There's some piece. You just never know what you're going to find. Now, the amount of money that this sold for, it's quite a bit. All right. So this, the seller, the best treasures for you, which it looks like they have a pretty established hold on the, the coin sales based off of the feedback. Sold for $44,995, and there is one other lot available. So without really doing the homework on the math, let's go ahead and give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and tabulate exactly. So it'd be what, $45 a coin, I think. Yeah, so it's you're paying $45 a coin, which, based off of what I saw on a few stock photos, it feels like a pretty good risk. as a lot of like the more common dates, some of the common dates, they sell for like that $23 to $25 per coin price based off of the current price of silver. So I kind of have to believe that this is more of a buy based off of the price of silver at this point. I mean, you're gonna have to hold on to it for quite a while. If I use the term loosely, the price of silver jumps up to say $50 an ounce, like it did back in 2009. I mean, you'll have something here, no doubt about it. But geez, I would love to cherry pick some coins out of here, no doubt about it. And I think that's probably one of the selling kind of like positives when it comes to something like this. Oh, by the way, that cracks me up. Item location is in the vault, US of A. But anyways, this is a very interesting number one on the list. Yeah, nothing else that's sold for more than $45,000. Okay, so at a glance, here are your top 10 coins to have sold on eBay for January 2021. I felt like this video was very wordy, and I apologize. Not in advance. I mean, this is a belated apology if this took longer than it should. I like to keep it around 20 minutes. This one ran a little bit long. But that's going to go ahead and do it for the Blue Ridge High Rollers January 2021. Great start to the year. We're seeing PMs certainly making a move. 3 out of, well, actually, you could probably say make an argument for 4 out of the top 10 on eBay. I mean, if you added this to the mix, but those are all mid-state 65s. But yeah, we're beginning to see just a huge shift into PMs, and people are trying to find whatever they could for the amount of money they have. Okay, so we have some pretty amazing stuff, I'm sure, coming in February. I've already seen that one of the coins sold in February has exceeded all 10 of these coins. So that's going to be interesting. But that's going to go ahead and do it for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Sean, with BlueRidgeSilverhound. I want to thank each and every single one of you for joining in for this interesting video. Market at a glance, and it's very healthy. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Coinaholics, we're discovering together. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on a few market report videos. And take care. We're still discovering together.